This is KRQE News 13 with Dick Niffing and Diane Anderson.
Larry Barker is one heck of an investigative reporter.
He has tracked down and exposed countless crooks and pusillanimous politicians. Some have been heartless, but they've all been human. Tonight, though, the people he's after are not human, at least not anymore. Tonight, Larry Barker investigates two famous New Mexico ghosts.
They come in all shapes and sizes. Phantoms, poltergeists, spirits, specters, spooks.
Do you believe in me?
These are images we all recognize.
He slimed me.
But these ghosts aren't real. They're just pure Hollywood. So if it's reality you want, come to Cuchillo.
I couldn't ask for a better place to look for ghosts. I mean, this is awesome. If this place isn't haunted, it should be.
You ever come here late at night and just sit in this room?
Absolutely not.
Welcome to the old Cuchillo Bar, tucked away in the shadow of southern New Mexico's Black Range. Relics documenting its 150-year history still line the adobe walls. At different times, this place was a trading post, stagecoach stop, hotel, post office, frontier saloon. The old Cuchillo served its last beer years ago. Today, the place is locked and shuttered. Only the antique furnishings remain. Now, during the day, this is just an old building. But stand here after dark, late at night, and that's when locals say things go bump in the night.
I have so many unexplainable things happen that I have to believe it's haunted.
Josh Bond owns the old Cuchillo.
A male's voice has been heard in this room several times, and I believe it to be an old cowboy that's sort of taken over this room. I've heard voices, I've heard things fall. I've heard a lot of whistling coming from the bar area.
There are rattling doorknobs, shadowy figures, and cabinets that mysteriously unlatch. Professional ghost hunters say they have evidence this place is haunted.
If the group has, in fact, scientifically proven paranormal activity, this needs to be, in the New York Times, because this is the first time in history it's ever happened.
Ben Radford is managing editor of the scientific journal, The Skeptical Inquirer. He spent 10 years investigating the paranormal.
I can't come into this place and say there's definitely not a ghost here, because there might be. But nor, for example, can the ghost hunters credibly come in here and say, for a fact, this place is haunted.
And then there are the audio recordings that ghost hunters say are the voices of old Cuchillo's poltergeists.
Do you wish to communicate with us?
Are you the cowboy?
This whole thing of the ghosts communicating through knocks and raps and murmurs and whispers, it's silly. I mean, come on. If the ghosts are here, they should be able to show themselves far better than this.
Now, not all ghosts are anonymous spirits. The spook that supposedly haunts Albuquerque's Chemo Theater actually has a name. He's 6-year-old Bobby Darnell.
It just seems to be sort of a mischievous little spirit.
Little Bobby was killed in an explosion at the Chemo in 1951. As the story goes, 35 years later, Bobby reappeared. Apparently, he rose from the dead after some donuts left as an offering to him were tossed in the trash. It happened right before a local production of A Christmas Carol.
I have no Christmas cheer for you.
The boy ghost retaliated by sabotaging the play. Actors forgot their lines, pieces of the set fell, and lights exploded. Dennis Potter was there.
Lots of things went wrong during the show. All I can say is after they put the donuts back up for the show that evening, the show went perfect.
But it wasn't until 8 years later that the Chemo ghost story first appeared in print. Today, the spirit of Bobby Darnell is one of New Mexico's best-known hauntings. In fact, in the Chemo basement, there's a shrine to the boy ghost. The theory is keep Bobby happy so he doesn't get into mischief.
It's a great story. It's just not true.
Ben Radford spent months investigating the Chemo ghost story.
There may be a ghost somewhere, but the likelihood of it being Bobby Darnell is 0.
Now, the entire basis for this ghost story hinges on a single performance of The Christmas Carol 20 years ago. The problem is, the only person who remembers it as a disaster is Dennis Potter.
The director doesn't remember it, the other cast and crew don't remember it, nobody else remembers it. What you conclude from that is that it didn't happen.
Nevertheless, ghost hunters claim they can prove a ghostly spirit haunts this place.
There's something moving around in here.
Paranormal detectives say the spirit world emits electromagnetic fields that can be picked up on, what else? A ghost meter.
This is pure pseudoscience. There's not a shred of evidence that this detects ghosts at all, yet this is one of the main pieces of equipment that ghost hunters use.
Where'd the ghost hunters get that this is going to detect a ghost?
They got that off TV. They got that out of misunderstanding science.
So if there's a ghost, where is it?
Seat 9.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're a ghost hunter...
If you're a ghost hunter, you're going to suspect that this might be evidence of a ghost.
Now, unless little Bobby Darnell's spirit is hiding in this electrical outlet underneath the seat, it's probably not evidence of a ghost.
If ghosts want us to be aware of their presence, they could do a hell of a lot better job than this. I love ghost stories. Ghost stories are great, but you need to make a distinction between a story and what's real.
Ben Radford isn't saying these places aren't haunted. However, he does say there's no evidence of it.
What's it going to take for Ben Radford to say, I just saw the chemo ghost?
I want to see a ghost come up to me personally and say boo. Something more than what I'm being given. Something more than just stories.
Larry Barker, KRQE News 13.